In my humble opinion, one of the most misunderstood musical skills is the ability to improvise. And the reason I call it a skill is because to me that's all that it is. In the same way that we consider the ability to sight read music to be an acquired skill, improvisation is also something that just takes time, dedication, and repetition in order to master. So today we're going to look at what I believe to be one of the most crucial exercises in enhancing our improvisational skills and ultimately uncovering the secret to improvisation. By the way, just to clarify, this is not an exercise specifically for the piano. You should use whatever instrument you feel most comfortable with. I'm just using the piano because that's just about all that I can play. So the exercise that we're going to be doing is the C major scale.
Are you kidding me?
Okay, so no, what we're going to be doing is taking the notes of the C major scale, but the exercise is actually going to involve using our ear to predict the sound or the note that's coming next. However, in order to do this successfully, we need to first talk about a concept which is called relative pitch. Now, you might have heard of relative pitch, but if you haven't, it essentially describes the ability to identify a certain tone given the help of a reference tone. So if we're starting here on the note C, and the next note that we hear is, I can be certain that that note is G because I'm comparing it in my mind to the reference tone that we heard just a second ago. So let's take a moment to look at our C major scale and just practice our relative pitch with all of the other intervals in the scale. So we have C, and then we're going to try to hear what the second is. Dun, dun, dun. There's the third. Dun, dun. There's the fourth. Dun, dun. There's the fifth. Dun, dun. There's the sixth. Dun, dun. The seventh. Dun, dun. And the octave. What we're trying to do is familiarize ourselves with the sounds of each and every one of these intervals to the point where we can hear an interval in our head and our fingers just immediately know where to go. And this is the secret to improvisation. Hearing intervals and series of notes and having such a strong connection between our brain and our fingers that our fingers essentially just behave as a vehicle for expressing our musical ideas. I know that might not be the most eloquent sounding answer in the world, but that's really what it is. So now let's actually take a look at the exercise that we were talking about. We're gonna take the notes of the C major scale and we're gonna play around with them in any order we want, but the only rule is that we have to try our best to hear the note in our head before we actually play it. So here's C, and we want to go dun, 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 dun. And as we get more and more comfortable with this, we can do groups of notes. So we have C, and we want to hear da 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 dun dun, da 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 dun, da 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 dun. And like I said, this is a skill that's going to take time to develop, so don't worry about going slowly. Because no matter how crazy advanced of a scale or mode we're working with, it all comes back to these simple exercises of listening, predicting, and executing. And this is why I said at the beginning of this video that I think that improvisation is a misunderstood skill, because for whatever reason, it seems a lot of people assume that because improvisation is something that involves creating musical ideas on the spot, it therefore must be something that can't possibly be acquired through mentorship and practice. It's gotta be something that you're born with and naturally good at. And I can promise you that that's a bunch of bull. If you take the time to develop your relative pitch the same way that you would with any other skill, and you apply that knowledge to these simple exercises, I promise you will be so surprised at how much you can accomplish. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please just give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to. Please let me know your thoughts by leaving a comment down below. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.